Welcome to the OBD podcast, show where we dig into what's actually working or not when it comes to scaling businesses with the people who have been there. And our guests today have definitely been there. So why don't you guys go ahead, give an introduction on where you've been, what you're doing, where you're going.
Well, Indra Mohan, founder and CEO of Automate. We are focused on compliance automation, helping companies achieve that in a scalable fashion is kind of pretty much what we're all about. So that's me. Vanya, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Vanya Amla. I'm the CEO at Automate as well. And yes,
Awesome,
Great.
great guys. So when you start working with the company, what are areas of opportunity you start looking in or digging into to help the business scale so that way it's able to overcome potential failures or failures it's within?
So what we see with companies are we see two main scenarios. One is there's no compliance automation whatsoever. People use spreadsheets like they did way back in the day, and there's a lot of room for reducing costs and improving sort of competitiveness by, you know, through automation. The other thing is a customer has some sort of compliance platform that automates the workflow, but not the evidence collection and the proof that, a control was executed in terms of, for compliance. So
Mm,
we go from we take companies from partial automation to complete automation for
got it.
compliance with
And
agents.
then so
Go ahead.
describe a little bit of how you take and implement the automation. Like, how do you find areas of opportunities so that way you're able to implement the automation so that way it's able to be more efficient and within compliance?
In compliance, so what we do is, in terms of implementing the automation, is we understand the existing business process in addition. But then those business processes, especially for established businesses, tend to be pretty complicated because there's a lot of legacy,
Yeah,
creep and overhead there. And what we do is we use the data flows to simplify the the business process to make it more effective and more easy to automate at the high level.
Okay, so and you're looking at these processes. What are some examples of types of processes that you help automate, and how do you automate?
Well, for example, a good example would be if you're developing a gaming application
Hmm.
for minors, then there has to be parental consent. So, so there has to be evidence that the parent was asked to consent and provided the consent by email. And so what we do is we automatically, because we integrate not just at the document level, but at the code level, we automatically understand whether that actually happened and provide the complete automation for that.
Got
So
it. So, for instance, if you have a gaming app, someone goes, "Are you over 18?" No, and then that triggers a flow. Is that how it works?
exactly. Another example would be, let's just say you're updating a security patch across 1,000 MacBooks that your employees have. Today, you've got to go and look at somebody has got to look at that manually. Go to the source application, look at it manually. We use a pro we integrate at the API level with that application programmatically and extract the information and validate that actually happened.
Okay. Wow. So you're able to look at because that's a huge time saver. I remember turning my computer into IT so they could do updates and they would roll it out right like they do C-suite first, and then it work its way down to as it goes through the company. But thousands of people, and you've got a handful of IT guys trying to do that takes time. Um, no, so you got the security, you're able to log it. You got the data proof to show it's there. Any other type of automation flows that you find that business really get a lot of good results from?
Yes, for example, they want to make sure that the security settings across all their different applications are correct.
Hmm.
So we automatically scan that and can validate that those settings are indeed correct. That saves people a lot
Okay.
of time. Because as you know, security is of paramount importance for enterprises these
Yeah.
days. Always has been
Yeah.
anyway.
Mhm. Okay, so this is security. Anything else on the compliance side, or the security able to come in, automate security actions at scale, right? Like you could do, one to many. Now on the compliance side, how do you help a business? I know you had the example of you're underage, but any other examples of compliance for
Yeah.
companies?
So what we do, we do actually one to many in a different way. But it's not just one compliance regulation, it's multiple compliance regulations.
Hmm.
Not just SOC 2, but it's SOC 2 and ISO and a bunch of other things. So there's commonality in terms of the controls required for across all those regulations. So we do the not just one off, but we do the one to many.
One to many. Okay. So if I'm a company, I'm looking for a solution on the security side for the internal of my company. We're going, hey guys, we've got all these things we need to implement. I've got two IT guys that support our whole, or I'm an IT company, right? I can see a lot of benefit for them leveraging this for that as well too, where they go into companies and they're like, hey, we've got 1,000 workstations that we need to update. We can have you guys build out a workflow, and boom, now we're able to do it within a matter of minutes versus weeks.
Yeah, we can dramatically reduce the setup time. Another good example would be user access reviews. Take a lot of time these days, and so we can automate that. Because you need to integrate with an HR application like Workflow, as well
Mhm.
as something like Okta for identity management. And then you need to very quickly figure out who's had access, whether was the access within compliance or not. And so that's just another use case, Jason, that we're seeing across the board right now.
Got it. Awesome. So we've got how you help companies leveraging security. What about HIPAA or ADA?
We are getting into HIPAA right now, but yes, HIPAA is kind of part of where we're going next. We're actually working with the company on HIPAA at this moment.
Sorry.
Sure.
Okay. So with your current company, how are you guys building that out and scaling so that way you're able to acquire customers so you can help them with these issues?
Well, we scale, as you know well, Jason. It's hard to build a business by knocking at one door at a time
Hmm.
per customer. So we are starting with a channel based model that worked for me pretty well in some of my previous lives.
Interesting. Okay.
So ideally, we're working with a whole bunch of systems integrators that already have relationships with established
Got
companies,
it.
and so that's kind of phase one. Phase two is going to be, which will start later this year, is product led growth. We're going to have a freemium model of our website
Mm.
that will allow you to people to try the product for about 30 days, and then upgrade to a paid version. So those are the two strategies we are employing.
The loss lead, or I guess it's not a loss leader, it's freemium. So how does that work? Because you've got all these different situations. You talk about going in, mapping out solutions for companies. So what does the freemium version look like if I'm a company looking to, you know, test it out?
We haven't released it yet, but putting the cart ahead of the horse just a little. But having said that, everybody has some sort of SOC 2 requirement. There's certain commonalities
Mhm.
across all types of customers. The freemium version would be for that commonality around SOC 2.
Got it. Awesome. So you've got your current network that you're going out to leverage to build business. Then you're creating a product led growth. How are you going to get that in front of people so that way they're aware of the freemium version?
Well, actually, we're working with one of our advisors who is now CMO of a company that's tracking to become a unicorn. And he's helping us not just with the product led growth, but also with participating in key events that give you massive visibility. Which is what
Cool.
happened to his company.
Yeah.
He got selected, presented at some key events, high visibility events, and then things just took off pretty much vertically from there.
Nice. What are some of those high visibility events?
Um, like Oracle World is one,
Okay.
RSA,
Yeah.
the RSA conference is another. So getting the right plan for what we do, RSA is probably better than Oracle World. But then and there are a couple of others. We haven't yet focused on that just yet. That's again Q4 activity.
Got it. Awesome. If someone's trying to listen who wants to scale right now, what's one piece of advice you wish you had earlier in your career?
Well, I would say start marketing sooner rather than later
Yeah.
is what I would say. As soon as you're confident of, as soon as you've delivered to a customer, start marketing, because otherwise it just gets you want to generate pull, demand as opposed to having to push.
Yeah.
So I would say as soon as you understand your value proposition, and as soon as you understand your product market fit, do some marketing is my advice,
Got it.
so that people come to you.
Start getting in front of people sooner than later.
Exactly.
Awesome. And if you had a magic wand, what would be something you wish you could fix right now just by waving it?
In the context of my current company, or in the context of
Current company.
general, or
Current company.
the current company, I think um, we had to do a pivot. I wish I'd done it a bit sooner rather than later, because when OpenAI happened, all the rules changed.
Yeah.
Not just for us, for a bunch of other startups. Everything that You have to take most of your assumptions and throw them out the window and adapt to the new world. So I could have, I could have adapted a bit sooner, cut back on expenses a bit sooner, but it wasn't mortal. I didn't raise too much money,
Okay.
so it was an inconvenience, but not mortal wound.
Yeah, it's funny. For years, one of the buzzwords was disruption, and I never felt there was real disruption until OpenAI came out and kind of turned everything on its head. It's like that's the example of disruption right there. Everybody was trying to get, and it's rare those companies pop out like that. It's only
It's amazing, inspiring,
yeah,
difficult too.
yeah, yeah.
The good news, it's stabilized right now. So you've got OpenAI, you've got Anthropic, you've got
Hmm.
that ecosystem from builders is stabilizing. So that's good news for people building applications
Yeah,
and like compliance and other
yeah, for
applications
sure.
because the environment is a lot more stable now.
Awesome. Where can people connect with you or learn more about what you're doing?
I think if you go to my email is indra@automate.ai. Our website is automate.ai. And that's Vanya came up with the name, very good name, AUTUMN as in the season, and then 8 is in the
Hmm.
number. So either by email or by going to our website
Awesome.
would be the best.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for taking the time.
Thanks,
All
Jason.
right, guys.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Take care.